If the so-called COVID vaxes are as dangerous as critics claim, then where's the evidence? Where's the hard evidence? Where's the smoking gun? German pathologist Ute Krueger published a book on it and says, here it is. And this book is now available in English for the first time. She joins me now to tell us more about that from Sweden, from her private practice there. Hi, Ute. Thanks for joining the program.
Hallo, lieber Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Ute, Vaccinated Dead. That's the title of your book, and it's just been published in English for the first time ever. This book is now available to English-speaking people, and I myself as a doctor had the honor to help with that translation. So what is it exactly that you show in that book?
Thank you, and especially the two other colleagues from Australia and Great Britain who helped me translate this book into English. I can say this book is actually unique in the world, and to my knowledge, there is no similar compilation of histological findings, meaning findings from tissue sections and case examples after these corona injections. These cases we described are from autopsies examined by Professor Arne Burkhardt. The book is a selection of 57 of such cases, primarily involving autopsies, where death is seen in nearly 3/4 of the cases as being related to these injections.
Wow. So what's your conclusion, actually, from all these patients you've examined, all these medical findings you've examined? What's sort of the major cause or the major consequence that you found, medically speaking, as an adverse effects of these so-called vaccines?
Our conclusion is, the more of these injections were administered, the greater the damage. And the most common finding in almost 90% of the cases was vasculitis, which is an inflammation in the vessels. And in almost 50% of the cases, a myocarditis, that is an inflammation in the heart muscle. Additionally, there were thrombi, other autoimmune diseases, foreign material, but the most common issues were the vasculitis and the myocarditis.
So these terms, as well as the book, they're made for medical specialists. And this textbook or this atlas then actually is a publication for doctors, for specialists. Is it also suitable for lay people, for just people generally interested in these medical conclusions?
Yes, definitely. It is intended as a medical guide for pathologists and forensic medical specialists primarily, but also for specialists in other fields to understand these mechanisms, and especially for the colleagues who still administer these injections. And then it can also be used as a reference work by lawyers, which can help in legal cases on this topic, because more and more vaccine injuries are being reported, and that can also help. And of course, for non-medical individuals interested in health. I've received feedback from relatives who can process their own stories with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, with all this work going into this book, you've been working on that for a couple of years, actually, or Professor Burkhardt has been working on it. Where did you collect the data from? How did you get your hands on this data?
Since March 2021, Professor Arne Burkhardt received material from autopsies, forensic medicine and pathology from all over Europe. These were often cases where the relatives suspected that the death was related to these corona injections. And from July 2021, Professor Walter Lang also joined, and together they examined these tissue samples, and the material was collected at the Institute in Reutlingen. And during the corona period, I was in very close contact with the two professors. And after the sudden death of Professor Arne Burkhardt, I considered it my duty as a pathologist to bring his findings to the world, and so I have. I started in August 2023 to re-examine hundreds of slides and assess them. I described them digitally and compiled the material. And in August 2024, the book was then published in German.
Well, if this material is as good and is as important and obvious as you claim, then one would expect that it would have been quite easy for you to find a publisher for this work and to have it on the market quite a lot sooner than it actually now is. How was that process? How easy was it for you to find a publisher and just publish this book?
From my own experience, I can say that the so-called scientific world is not interested in the truth. I tried to publish an autopsy case related to these corona shots. records and was in contact with a British medical journal for half a year. Initially, they were interested. Then it went back and forth. I was supposed to change this or that, and after half a year, they were no longer interested. And I simply haven't tried to approach major publishers because there's censorship almost everywhere. And the truth obviously isn't supposed to reach the world. So I found a small publisher, and I'm very grateful that they want to publish this book.
And so now the book is available online only from the small publisher you just mentioned. We have the link to the to that publisher in the text to this video, accompanying this video. People can order it there. They can pre-order it there right now, if the information is correct. How much will the book cost then, and when will shipping start?
Well, the book price is 39 euros and delivery is expected from the 5th of May. So the book is now being printed and we think the delivery will be able to go out around mid-May.
Okay, that's about $42 just from the present exchange rate there. So if you care to order that book, just go ahead right now, click that link, order your copy of that book. Ute, all my best wishes for this book. It was my pleasure and an honor to be able to support that thing, and I'm supporting it now with this interview too. There's no money involved. You don't pay, neither me nor other people who interview you about this. It's just a thing people support for medical and scientific reasons. We had a longer interview on this book in German, of course, our native tongue there, which is available on my YouTube channel. I also added the link to that underneath this video. It is in German, but that's where you extensively explain what you actually find there, how what kind of pathologies you could prove in that case. And if you're interested in that video, just try to translate that on your own with an AI or something. Now, maybe we'll follow this up with a longer version of an English interview. Thank you very much for your work. All the best for your book and your future. And I hope to speak to you soon again.
Thank you very much, Paul, for helping to publish and promote the book.
My pleasure.